Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We've got a lovely reading today, decoding the messages the Divine Masculine wants you to know. So thanks for joining me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you see any kind of content that you'd like me to produce here on this channel, any questions that you might have, please let me know below. So let's get started. In the headspace, we have a lot of regret and sadness within regards to your past. We've got the Three of Cups here in reverse. So your DM is really missing the celebratory energy you brought into his life. And he might even feel responsible for any third-party relationships going on in his absence. I also feel, because we have the card Anxiety from the Vessel Oracle deck, that he feels like he's under intense pressure right now to offer you this joy. Because he can feel over the bond that any issues you're having in your karmic partnership, be that with work or another person, there's this strong desire in him with the Sun card to give that to you. Everything you deserve, abundance, wealth, confidence, strength, through him, because he knows he's the rightful person in that position. And we do have two cards in this deck that represent Leo in this spread, We have the Strength card in reverse in the action space and the Sun here in the mental space. So if you are a Leo, or if your twin is a Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, for you, this is definitely a special message of resonation here. So most likely, a declaration of love was made in the past by one or both parties, and the DM rejected it, took off running, because we have the card here, I just wasn't ready for you. And your words linger in my mind. And now, he's regretting this specifically because we have the Five of Pentacles here as well. What a sad card. And these words kind of keep playing over and over in his head, and it's kind of like he's allowing this rejection by you or him to haunt him quite a bit. So he could be ruminating about financial troubles. The Five of Pentacles is often a card of job loss, illness sometimes, but we do know that he's placing way too much emphasis into the external again, and he just can't handle remembering what you've said to him, because it's throwing off his game, this 3D game of obtaining validation and gratification, when he really just needs to trust the ascension process. So that is the headspace for our dear Divine Masculine right now. And he's had a couple of angsty weeks. So we're all sort of up-leveling our consciousness, in the heart space with the Hierophant. The DM knows that he's advancing to this 5D level of consciousness, where we all acknowledge that we're one, and what we do to one another, ultimately we're doing to ourselves. But there's this kind of sarcastic energy. We have the card, the grass wasn't greener on the other side. And I really feel like the DM is kind of joking here that he was absolutely convinced he had to do everything without you, but the grass that was greener on the other side was this crazy ascension process. So it's more like the energy of, be careful what you wish for. He's realizing that now. And then we also have the Five of Wands and the Tower in reverse card. So, separation is some part of the twin flame journey. It doesn't have to be everyone's, but it is definitely a marketable or notable part for many. So the DMs try to compensate for the knowledge of this by doing too much at one time. It's a very scattered energy here with this card. Trying to maybe garner new business since it's the wands and it's a fire passion based thing. Maybe even eating better, having a better online presence, reading more, but ignoring the places of fundamental change within. So he had a tower moment recently in the heart space, and there was this realization that an ego death, perhaps, this lesson that he learned that, you can keep running and, quote, progressing in the 3D, but we really don't have to. The divine knows and believes and feels that as we were created, we're enough, just the way that we are. But you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable in some way daily. From this place of, well, I thought I knew everything yesterday, but today new information or chaos came in and I don't know it. And I've got to start from here, all over, be the small fish in the big pond again, to be happy and ultimately to be successful, because that's how growth happens. So if you're curious what I mean, drop me a comment and maybe I will do a twin flame advice video about this. Let me know. Now, we've been having very positive cards in the action space lately. There's an indication with the 9 of Pentacles here, paired with the movement card from the Vessel Oracle deck, that the DM is going to move towards that wish fulfillment, you, and his dreams. And I think that there's an element of gratitude that we haven't seen before, where the DM is now looking at his life and the divine and the orchestration of events and realizing that, like, somebody's been looking out for him. The divine is like a parent, and all of these life lessons could have been much harsher. So he's starting to feel loved by the universe and internalizing that love. Yay, finally, He's got the first inklings of courage to come forward with the Strength card. Again, Leo represented here. But he lacks tact and self-control in some ways. Maybe it's the energy of the 5 of Wands, where he just feels like there's so many things about my life I want to change and up-level and be better, and that niggling voice in the back of his head, oh, she'll never love me unless I get all these things accomplished at the same time, so I'm going to keep running on that hamster wheel. He feels like he has to do all of these things in order to earn your forgiveness. So just in case, he does come forward and he hasn't gotten all of these ducks squared away, he's just worried that it's his one chance to get you back and he doesn't want to screw it up. Now, you could owe him an apology, because we do have the card boundaries here as well. So if that's the case, then there could be an issue of codependency here that he might be worried about. He might be worried like he's not strong enough if you came back into his life to continue on this path of getting the work that he needs to do done in a timely manner, because you're like a distraction. But the Empress is his guiding star. The Empress being you, the archetype of the divine feminine and the ultimate abundance maker. So he knows that the secret lies with the 3s in creation, giving birth to the actualization of his ideas to help usher in this new 7D grid right now, which is part of the paradigm shift going on. And if you're seeing 1111 a lot, that means that you agreed to come here to be a part of this and help guide the planet to a higher state of evolution. So to help us do this, we need to focus on not fighting the old so much, but building the new. You see how one is negative based and the other one is positive? You can still do both at the same time, but don't forget the positive aspect, that it first starts with positive energy and an idea, and then small steps daily to see it through, but always with spirit in mind, always as above, so below. We have the card, You Inspire Me, and I Can Still Feel You. So again, like, he sees you, maybe even on social media, maybe in daily life, and you're an inspiration to him to remember this whenever he feels like he's strayed from his path. So that's really lovely. And you're this example of why so many empaths agreed to incarnate at this time, because sensitive beings, with what's going on right now, it's hard sometimes to engage with these unpleasant emotions, hatred, conflict, judgment, opposition. We know, since being in the 5D, what we do to others, we're ultimately doing to ourselves. We have this network of roots like this tree, and it can be used to help or heal. So we're really being called to bloom from this heart space and solidify that network of people helping other people, no matter what side we seem to be on. So for further guidance, I've drawn this card from the Practice You deck, and it puzzled me. It was the first one I had drawn without any writing on it. So it made me think of our blue planet and question, how many more spheres out there in our vast number of universes could support life. So blue is the color of the throat chakra. We're working with self-expression here. And perhaps starting every day with a mantra can transform some of the blockages that you feel in your life. And you'll know that they're blockages because that's anything that you feel a strong resistance to or feels stuck or negative. And you could say something like, I'm open to and inviting the highest reality of love, harmony, and unity into my life, to release any old karmic states of struggle and separation, or something of the like. It could be much shorter. If you're in an area with ocean or water, this would also be a good time to spend time near there. It's very cleansing, especially if you can get in. And of course, blue can also represent Neptune or Uranus, which govern mental wellness and astronomical change in the astrological system. So we're reminded to keep a cool head at this time. So that's what I have for you. If you'd like to book a reading of your own, see where your divine masculine is at and whether or not they're coming forward into your life, I have a quick 20-minute question in my shop, and I also have a more in-depth love and relationships spread. So click the link in my description box below under readings to shop for your own. Other than that, like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week.